It's budget time of the year in Maryland, and both the House and the Senate have passed their own versions of what turned out to be a $44.5 billion budget. Some were surprised that a few more Republicans than normal voted against the measure. Tom, what are your thoughts on maybe why the Republicans voted against the budget more than normal this time?
Well, I think
more than normal with a Republican governor in the last 3 years.
The budget passed with only, 12, 13, 14 negative votes.
And all
it
the
was
senators
unanimous
voted.
in the Senate.
Right.
And the other one was like 125 to 14, whatever it is. I have it here somewhere. But anyway, I read about what Neil Parrott did, for example. Well, he was angry. He voted against it because the budget went up roughly 2%. He doesn't want to go up over zero, so he's
But
against
isn't that
it.
over Brian Frost, $1 million from Brian Frost from suing the Trump administration for what they've done?
That's
Yeah,
also
they
part
wanted
of it.
to
But that's
eliminate
that's just a footnote, really.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is about the because of what Congress did, there's a number of Marylanders going to have to pay larger taxes.
Yes.
Because of the way our code, and that wasn't rectified. I mean, some people said, well, we should get the money back. It's a big issue.
But
because
isn't
it's
there a
complicated.
windfall of taxes coming in from the federal
Yes,
tax cuts?
There is. There's a windfall that he said should be given back to the people, all of it.
Who said that?
Neil Parrott.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons some were against this, and I think there were people on different sides. You know, that particular issue is not that
But it's
simple.
also an election year. So
Yeah.
they knew that they could vote against this, go back to the constituents and say, listen, I voted against this because we're spending more money, or there was $1 million that was tied into this, and sort of drum up support of their political base to get them out there and support
See,
the
here's
vote.
the problem I have with that. I think at
Now
some
that you have with what?
With what? Yeah.
of drumming up your own political base with these what are nothing more than symbolic.
Kind of the way it's going in the federal government right
Don-
I'm
now.
not
Don
talking about the
Quixote
federal government
at the
right now. We're
windmill
talking about the
thing.
state.
Well, I know, but it's
If we can't talk about Barack Obama today, we can't talk about the federal one. We're talking about the
second.
state. Here's what I can tell you, though. I think it's
that's
penny
not
wise and pound foolish, as the old saying goes, because I think that there are people in the Senate and people in the House that when you come to them for support on something, because you didn't vote on the budget, they're not going to give you their support. And I think there was no question that this budget was going to pass.
Oh, God, yes.
And you know what? In every budget, the art of the deal, forget about Donald Trump's version of it. I think we can all agree that if we both go to the table and we walk away happy but not super ecstatic, it was probably a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
and I think there's enough good things in this budget that Neil, I have a lot of respect for Neil, and others should have just voted for it. And I don't
but
know.
it's not going to cost the governor any votes. And
No, it's not.
okay,
Well, it's not just about
This
All right,
governor
yeah,
has
it-
reached
it
across
may-
the aisle, in my opinion.
and that's part of the problem we have because we've become very
That's right.
Both parties have become very polarized
And
in their
this was
stances.
not polar.
And it's
This
not-
budget was not.
this
No.
was not a polarized
No,
budget.
It's
There's
exactly
not
the
been-
opposite. as you're saying.
God forbid some politician actually reached across the aisle and asked the other side what they want and
This is
actually
what you
listened.
want to happen.
Exactly.
Who do you give that credit to? Do you give any credit to President Senate Miller, the
I
Speaker of
give-
the House
I
Bush,
give-
and the
I
governor?
gi- I
Do you
give-
think the three of them have really
You
tried
know
to
what?
do
I
it?
think it's about a relationship. And my point about if you just don't vote against the budget, you've damaged that relationship.
Yeah.
I think that when the governor came in, he was probably suspicious of them. They were probably suspicious of him. They found ways that they could work together. They have a relationship now, and it's working.
And plus, the budget is basically driven by the governor's office here in Maryland.
Right.
That's how it works. And here you've
Yeah.
got the only people working against him. In
Are
some
the
respects,
people in your own
Republicans.
party who are
What?
more conservative in principle than what the governor is in certain.
principled or ideologues, let's put it that way.
I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, but some of them just, he's got a point. I mean, there's politics and there's politics. That's our problem with Washington. We try to get things done. People want to get stuff done.
Right.
They got something
We've
done.
lost the ability to negotiate across the table.
Very good.
Thank
With that, coming up next, we'll cover the news stories that made us scratch our heads and say, what the flip side?